a center spread of photos of its chairman on his hands and knees, begging for forgiveness from a seated Tong-tong, who had his hand outstretched toward the supplicant in a display of grace that evoked our former dictator and deity from the mainland, Chiang Kai-shek. How could a man powerful enough to literally have the media groveling at his feet be abducted so easily? I listened to Peggy sob on. She wasn't calm enough to talk yet. It was just as well, since the crowds were falling off at a pretty steep rate now. I glanced over at my crew of two, the sprightly senior citizen Frankie the cat, and Dwayne, the tough 30-year-old who was proud of his Aboriginal heritage, his interpretation of which came with a nice shiny chip on the shoulder. Dwayne shook his closely cropped head at me. "Look at this lazy Han Chinese sitting down on the job." I pointed at the back of my seat to indicate that I was going to be there a while. Dwayne snorted. "What's that, Jing-nan? You want me to kiss your ass? Frankie, can you believe this guy?" Frankie adjusted his glasses, pushing the arms deep into his slicked back hair, and grunted, indicating that he understood my gesture to mean that I was stuck on the phone, or maybe he was merely dislodging phlegm. A family of Americans came unbidden to the counter. 4 of them. What else? 2 parents and a son and a daughter. The boy, an 8-year-old wild child, pressed his nose against the glass and then proceeded to wipe it across the entire pane to get a close-up of the different grilled sausages and skewered organs. Damn it, did we have enough disinfectant spray left? His teenage sister stood back and grabbed at the insides of her elbows. "We should have gone to France," she declared. "The food here is gross." Her enabling mother put a hand on her husband's arm. "Honey," she said, "are we sure this is safe? For the kids?" I wished I could jump in and quip, "Hey, it's safer than Velveeta," or something like that. Dwayne glanced at me, recognized that I was tied up, and then took action by leaning over to them. Very good," said Dwayne as he moved his hands in a hypnotic circular motion. He should speak English more often. There was an earthy and honest quality to his voice in that language, and he wasn't good enough at it to add a sarcastic tone. "Everything clean." Dwayne gave them a big, toothy grin and pressed his hands together at his chest, making him look like a genie ready to grant food-related wishes. Dad smiled. He was into genies. Thank you," the father said loudly in bad Mandarin to Dwayne while waving too much money at him. Dwayne smiled and replied, Thank you. I felt extreme relief knowing that Mr. Tough Guy himself could even knuckle under and extend courtesy to our customers. Sure, we sell them food, but we can't feed ourselves without them, and putting up with their occasionally annoying behavior. Dwayne bagged whatever the boy pointed to while the sister wrung out her lips. Maybe she would have been happier at one of Taipei's bakeries, which have more varieties of croissants than you can shake a beret at. I only know a few French phrases, but my favorite is sourire aux touristes, smile at the tourists. Smile at the questions that demean your country, your culture, and possibly yourself. Smile at the suspicious looks they give you when they think you're trying to cheat them. Smile until it kills you, because without them, you'd be alone and crying. The vast majority of visitors are great, but every once in a while, you get someone who doesn't want to be there or doesn't want you to be there. The son grabbed the bag from Dwayne as his father paid. Inevitably, his sister was now trying to get their mother to make him share with her. Reassured that my business wasn't in danger of imminent collapse, I fully turned my attention back to my old classmate. Her sobs had decreased in volume and frequency. Maybe she could talk now. Peggy, I said as I looked to the wall, I want to make sure I heard you right. You said your father was kidnapped? Yes, she managed to say. Peggy Lee, who would be nonchalant while standing on a cliff that was crumbling beneath her feet, was having difficulty verbalizing a single syllable. She must love her father more than anything. I planted my feet flat on the ground, licked my lips, and prepared to talk to her in a more sedate manner than I ever have. Can you tell me what happened? I heard her bang her desk drawers open and shut. That was followed by a metallic glugging sound that could only come from a flask. She gasped before continuing. He was at one of those double-ninth festival dinners a few hours ago. The drinking had improved her voice and made her sound more lucid.